You're ready to go. This one's ready to go.
Okay.
Your speaker's on and your sound's on.
So how do I turn the sound off or mute?
Off? Right there. You just...
Okay.
Well, did you hear or talk? Which one?
I want to be able to hear.
Okay, that one there.
Boyd and Bernie. All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started on this one. All right, so the detention docket for the 323rd, and because of the 17th emergency order by the Supreme Court of Texas, we are not doing in-person hearings since it's possible to do this through Zoom because of the coronavirus. However, in compliance with Article 1, Section 13 of the Texas Constitution, which is known as the Open Courts Act, this is being broadcast on YouTube. It is prohibited by this court for anyone to copy, publish, or record any portion of this hearing. Any violations of this order is punishable by contempt of court and is jailable. All right, so Mr. Barber.
Yes, sir.
Judge Kim, been here for 10 days, so you get to see a judge every 10 days to review your case, to see what to do. Let you know you have the, if I detain you, then you have a right to see a judge every 10 days thereafter to make the same decision. You have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. I believe Mr. Shaw is your attorney. We're pending show cause. Do we have the written request for the parents, Ms. Turner-Hill, for the attorney?
Your Honor, I believe she submitted it whenever he initially came in. I'll double check and then resubmit it if I need to. Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, so Mr. Barber, you're currently level 1-0 since today, which is good. And all right, you had a couple aggravated robberies last year, but they were dismissed. So at this point, so we let you out on the robbery charge, and then we let you out on electronic monitor in March. You skipped school and you violated your curfew, so let's see. Brought you in April with your parents to talk about your electronic monitor. You said, the parents said that you said that the EM was a joke and you would come and go as you wanted. And all right, so the violations, March 28th, you were out from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. and then March 29th, 4 in the afternoon to 4:30, 4:45 to 8:20, 10:20 to 10:40. This just started trying to shoplift at Walmart, threatened to punch somebody, and using airsoft guns. All right, so you've had 2 EM violations. Parents here? No, Your Honor, she works at a hospital, and so she can't be present, but if the court's willing to release them, then she can pick them up when she gets off this evening.
All right. Mr. Barber?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Shaw's here, right? Okay, there we are. All right, so Mr. Barber, I mean, I don't want to talk about what they're saying, the robbery or the Walmart or anything. I want to talk about your EM, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand, I'm giving you the option. When I release you on, I'm giving you the option of saying, I'll let you go home, sleep in your own bed, wear your own clothes, eat your own food, but you got to stay, you got to be where you're supposed to be. The other option is you can be a Kimbo, eat our food, sleep in our beds, wear our clothes, and you're going to be where you're supposed to be. You see how that works?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have a preference on which one you'd rather do?
Go home, sir.
Okay, but you understand that if you're not where you're supposed to be, then you get taken away the privileges of eating your own food, your own clothes, and sleeping in your own bed. You understand that, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So you're level 1-0. You're showing me that you can do the right thing. I'm going to give you this chance over a month now, but you understand if you violate this EM again, what do you think is going to happen?
Are you gonna stay here?
Yeah, you're going to stay here. We'll just bring you back.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so that's what you got to think about. Anytime you think about leaving the house, you just got to think about, hey, if I leave this house, then I have to go back and stay at Judge Kim's detention center. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's not worth it, is it?
No, sir.
All right. What about the weed? Do I have to worry about you smoking weed when you're out?
No, sir.
All right, because you know we're going to drug test you, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign a release order for you. But you understand that I'm going to put you back on the monitor, right?
Yes, sir.
Prove to me that I don't need the monitor, and we'll take off the monitor.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask one thing?
Yeah.
I can get a job.
Yeah, if you get a job, get a job. We'll give you timeouts. We'll give you we'll allow you to go and get a job. The monitor will just show you that you're at work, but you can't say I'm going to get a job and then go to the park. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Unless you get a job at the park, right? You get a job at Six Flags. You can go Six Flags. But unless you're working there, you can't be there. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm trusting you this time. You kind of violated my trust before, but you know what? I think you've earned another chance. You can either prove yourself right and I made the good decision, or prove yourself wrong and you'll just come back here, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Barber.
I thank you.
All right, Brian Carrera. Good adjustment. All right, Mr. Carrera. Judge Kim, this is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case to decide whether or not to release you or to keep you in custody. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge 10 days from now. I'll let you know you have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I'll provide one for you. You have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. All right. Let's see. Brian here. Yeah, Brian, you've had all these incidences going back to, let's see, when you're 12 years old. Criminal trespass, failed to ID, resisting arrest, evading arrest, theft, unlawfully carrying a weapon, knuckles, engaging in organized crime, criminal trespass. A lot of these times we just let you out and just within a week you're caught again. Now we're here. Back in April, officers responded to a call at a convenience store about 11 o'clock at night. Victims say they saw 4 Hispanic males enter the business for theft and then ran. When running away, the primary suspect reached toward his waistband, made a motion like he had a gun concealed. Another suspect pointed a handgun at the victims and pulled the trigger, which did not fire, which later identified by the clothing, and the video seemed to be Brian. It was captured on surveillance. Victims provided descriptions. Brian matched the description. And when officers arrived at Brian's home, they saw Brian and his father leaving the vehicle where the handgun was found, taken into custody. So grand jury's approved to determine a sentence for Brian. Also pending terroristic threat for threatening a teacher at JJ AEP. And we're set for court on July 6th. And you've been approved for placement at Clarinda. You also tested positive for marijuana and benzodiazepines. All right, Mr. Carrera. The offenses I take most seriously are the ones involving firearms. And I consider you to be a danger to yourself as well as to others. So I'm going to go ahead and order you detained. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Christopher, okay, is Miss Bowers here? Not yet. All right, so is the security control officer there?
Yes, I'm here, Judge Kim.
We're going to skip Mr. Childs. Mr. Hall can't be here.
Okay.
Ms. Bowers is covering for him, but she's going to be late because of the court setting. So I'll just let you know. So next one's going to be Pamela De La Cruz.
Pamela De La Cruz. Pamela.
All right, Ms. De La Cruz. Good morning. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child is brought to our detention facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days, and I have to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days to make the same decision. You have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. And the mom is there. Okay. So Pamela, let's see. You were placed on probation last August for robbery. And let's see, back in 2018, so you were 14 years old, you had a theft, probably a shoplifting, and a fail to ID. All right, so yesterday, Arlington Police Department brought you in on a warrant for runaway, failure to participate in an administrative hearing on curfew violations. Mom called us, said you were home, so that's why we went to pick you up. And so, happened without incident, you tested positive for marijuana when you were brought in. All right, so your probation officer is saying for the majority of the probation, you're doing well. You did outpatient at TYRC successfully in counseling, but lately your behavior is starting to get worse. You're associating with another probationer, staying out to the middle of the night, and we try to schedule an administrative hearing for you to come in so we can talk to you about how you can make better decisions. And so Ms. Cook, when you say she did not comply, she showed up for the admin hearing or didn't follow through?
Yes, Your Honor. We initially tried to do one with the mom last Friday, and we were in the middle of it, and Pamela hung up the go-to meeting. And we requested the directive at that time, but it didn't get issued on Friday. And so she stayed home all weekend, and according to the mom. And so on Monday, we tried again. And at 12:30, she knew that the administrative hearing was going to happen at 1. And Pamela grabbed a backpack, told her mom she'd be back, and she left. And then we haven't seen her until she came home yesterday.
How long was she gone? How long was she gone for?
So that was Monday, and she came home Wednesday night at 5 p.m.
3 days?
No.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to do, Pamela. Your mom's responsible for you. You are on probation, so you're accountable to me. And so you can't just do what you want to do. This is part of probation, all right? Mm-hmm. You made some decisions in the past that now you're being held accountable for. And so you've got to follow the rules. That's what probation is about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and detain you. All right. This is because of your attitude and you're not following the rules. So at this point, what I want to do is I'm going to detain you. You were gone for 3 days. You didn't get to level 1.0, hold it for 3 days. And then I'll release you on electronic monitor. And hopefully that's enough for you to show that you can follow the ruls. If you can't, we'll just come back here and we'll deal with it a different way. All right. But just let you know the reason why I'm picking.
I get that
Sorry?
one.
Can you say that again?
I get that when I get on level 1.
No, you get to level 1.0 and you hold level 1.0 for 3 days. So every one of those days that you have to keep level 1.0 should be a reminder of every one of those days you left the house. All right, so if you had left house for 7 days, I'd say level 1.0 for 7 days. But if you drop down to level 1A, it starts over again. You have to get back to level 1.0 and hold level 1.0 for 3 days.
Okay.
Okay, and when you get back home, I think you'll do fine. You did fine for the most of your probation, but you have to understand there's consequences to your decisions. This is just the consequence. You made a choice, bad choice. Now you got to kind of reckon up to it. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Cameron Newton.
It's open. Go ahead.
Judge Kim, you want Newton next?
Yes, please.
Right.
Is it muted now?
No.
have a parent for Newton?
Yes, Your Honor. His grandmother is on. It says iPhone.
Okay, all right, I
Yes.
see that now. All right, Miss Newton, or the grandmother. This is a court proceeding on Zoom. I expect you not to be eating or drinking while we're here. So can you please put that down?
That's my too. Oh, I thought you was talking to me.
It's your grandmother I'm talking to who's watching. All right, so please do not be eating or drinking while this is going on. Is that fair? All right, thank you. All right, so, all right, Mr. Newton, this is a 10-day detention hearing, the purposes of the hearing. So, ma'am, you're chewing. All right, can you please spit out your food? All right, I'll try one more time. Mr. Newton, this is a detention hearing. The purpose. I removed her from this hearing because she can't behave appropriately. All right, so Mr. Newton, this is a 10-day detention hearing. The purpose of the hearing is to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. By keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days while you're here. I'm gonna let you know you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney, and if you or your family cannot afford an attorney, then I will provide one for you. Ma'am, I'm gonna let you know now, okay? Part of the rules is that you cannot have a distracting background. You can't be walking around. You can't be eating or drinking or consuming foods. This is just like a court proceeding we're just doing through Zoom. So I'm removing you from this hearing because you cannot behave appropriately. All right, so Mr. Newton, you're 16 years old, but at this point, Mr. Keenan, I'm sorry, I'm not upset at your client because of grandma, it's just who she is. But at this point, because grandma's unavailable to be appropriate in the courtroom, I'm appointing you in the dual role right now for this hearing as a guardian ad litem.
Your Honor, may I say something? That
Yes.
that was not his grandmother. That was his mother. So his grandmother is his guardian. I don't know why mom was on there. I think she went to get grandma, but that wasn't, I just wanted to let you know that that wasn't grandmother acting inappropriately.
Okay.
May have been out of the car.
Doesn't matter either way. I know it's difficult with Zoom. And so
Yeah.
I'm not upset. I have to have a minimum standard. And one of the minimum standards is you can't walk around because it distracts everyone who's viewing the session. So, but thank you, Ms. Smiley, for clarifying. All right, so Mr. Newton, Ms. Perkins, Keenan, I don't know, who are you? who do I remember you as? Tracy, Ms. Tracy. I'll call her Ms. Tracy. She's your attorney. All right, so Mr. Newton, I'm looking at your history. This all started when you're, I guess, 13, burglary of a vehicle, theft of property, burglary of a vehicle, engaged in organized crime, robbery, aggravated robbery. These are just what you've been arrested for. I mean, you're on probation for burglary of a vehicle. So kind of in and out, eventually turned 16, or when you're 15, you had a stolen car. All right. So I was saying June 6th, about 11:30, there's a robbery call. It said 3 teenage boys came to the victim's home while the victim was sleeping, held her at gunpoint, rummaged the residence. They wore face masks and dark clothing. When the police got there, victims identified as Luella and Anthony Smith said they heard a loud bang shortly after 3 young black men entered their bedroom. One was armed with a shotgun, one with an AR-15, one with a handgun. Suspect with a handgun said, "Don't move or I will shoot you, bitch." At this point, the suspects with the shotgun, the AR-15, got out of the bedroom and went through the house. They took $400 from the purse, gold chain, gold diamond ring. So there's a radio call saying that the car had been found. No, An individual had been found in a blue Volkswagen while Tottenham noticed a loaded AR-15 magazine, 2 backpacks, loose shotgun shells. They located an AR-15 in a backpack at the trash can at Tarrant County College, which was close to the call location. They checked up the video, saw 2 black males. They walked toward the trash can, threw a blue backpack and an AR-15 inside the trash can, and ran off. Started looking. They found Cameron Newton behind an AC unit, 1 street north of Tarrant County College. He had a live .223 round in his front pocket. And then the person in the car said he was a getaway driver and admitted to Cameron Newton as being one of the people that entered the home to rob them. All right, so Mr. Newton, home invasion robbery. It seems like if this is in fact true, this would be aggravated felony, first-degree felony that you're looking at up to 40 years on a determinate sentence if the district attorney goes that route. My concern is I have a big problem with kids that have firearms and use them in a crime. So I'm very concerned about the safety of the public. I'm concerned about you killing somebody or somebody killing you if you were to be involved. So at this point, I'm just not comfortable releasing you just because of the safety factor of things. Okay, so I'm going to order you detained. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ms. Keenan.
Thank you. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, good to see you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
James Schmidt, 10-day hearing. Hi, Mr. Schmidt. Do we have a parent coming in for Mr. Schmidt?
Your Honor, the mother is on Zoom. Believe it's under Ruiz.
Is it Alice?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hello, Mom. All right, Mr. Schmidt. I'm Judge Kim. This is a 10-day detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, and so I'm reviewing your case to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 business days thereafter to make the same decision. I want to also let you know that you have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. Mr. Daniels is currently appointed as your attorney. All right, so Mr. Schmidt, you're 14 years old, brought you in. There's negative drugs, but you were arrested for family violence in March. We let you out. Then you were brought back in June. Lately, it was you got your mom over the dishes and being at the neighbor's house. Argument escalated, and you got in each other's face. Stepdad saw you raise your fist like you hit your mom, so he intervened. And I guess your stepdad was hit by you. Started going at it. You broke free and took off down the street. Mediation was unsuccessful. Okay, so we released, this is the first instance, released you to your mom at detention hearing. Okay, so while you're out, police were dispatched for domestic again. They said that you got upset when your mom did not trust you to stay at the friend's house to do a previous behavior of you sneaking out of the house. Tried to discipline you, and then you said that your mom grabbed your arm, you resisted, then she said you grabbed her, picked her up, and body slammed her on the couch. And so you got arrested again. And we have a court setting August 10th. All right, so I got a couple questions. Mom, have you been able to call with Chance, like while he's been here?
I've been speaking to him on the phone, yes.
Okay, are you noticing a change?
Not in his attitude. He gets smart sometimes, but he's always been that way with me lately. But as far as remorse, yes, sir, he has.
Okay.
I just can't get control of his attitude.
Sure. No, I understand. So, Mr. Crawler, are you here?
Yes, sir.
All right, so can you tell me about his behavior? He got to level 1-0 just 3 days ago. Why did it take so long?
Your Honor, he's been on level 1 the whole time. He was dropped down on the 18th to 1A. slow to comply 3 times, over playful 3 times, got back to 1-0. On the 22nd, he was dropped down to 1A again, talking during movie, not following instructions, and continuously violating rules.
Okay.
Back to 1-0.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Chance has told me that, you know, he's talked to his mom on the phone every day lately, and he says that she's also found him a job that he can do once he's out of here. So I guess she can speak to that, but he says that he does have a job lined up, and he says, you know, that something like what happened between him and his mom, he knows that that's never to happen again.
All right. So here's my thing, Chance. This is what, and I'm not really asking questions. I will tell you where I'm coming from so you understand.
Sir.
Like, you understand the difference, how small of a difference it is between level 1O and level 1A.
Yes, sir.
Because a level 1 is level 1. You're not doing anything bad.
Yeah.
But the difference is level 1O is you're doing everything you're supposed to do.
Yes, sir.
Level 1A is you're like, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm going to kind of control the situation and I'm going to kind of do it my way.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm not doing anything bad. I'm just, it's, I guess in a way we call it microaggressions, right?
Yes, sir.
Talking to your mom just now, she's like, well, you know, he's not bad. He's not defiant, but he's just kind of got this attitude.
Yes, sir.
You see how what your mom is saying is that the problem isn't the fact that you're not a level 1 at home. The problem is you're like a level 1A, not a level 1O.
Yes, sir.
Right?
I understand.
If you understand what I expect from you, I expect a level 1O.
Yes, sir.
Your mom and I think we're very similar on this. We both expect you to be a level 1O, okay? There's just a certain part about life when you're 14 years old that you don't get to make a lot of decisions.
Yes, sir.
The way life is, right?
I had a lot of time to think about that I'm not in control, and that I need to listen and follow directions because I'm not 18 yet. I'm not able to go out without, you know what I'm saying, my mom telling me that I can. Like, I have to ask her first, you know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
like, and yeah, I had a lot of time to think about that, Your Honor.
Okay, so I need to feel better about this. Mom, my question for you is, are we at the point now where do you think Chance is at that stage where we can try and give him the chance to prove himself? Because you know what, if you just call Mr. Call and say, Chance is still acting up, he's sneaking out, he's giving me attitude, you know we can just bring him back, right? We don't have to wait for the next violent incident. You understand?
Yes, sir. I did not know that.
Okay, yeah, no, you and I are working together. Chance cannot win this game, all right? We're on one team, he's on the other team, and we're gonna do what we can to make sure Chance makes better decisions, okay?
Okay.
I have no problem if he's giving you the attitude at home to bring him back in here for an attitude adjustment.
Okay.
And I can bring him in every other day, every weekend, or ideally Chance learns from this and he just stays at home because he's actually being a good kid, okay?
Yes, sir.
So that being said, because you know your son better than anybody else does, do you think Chance is at the point now where he deserves a chance to prove himself that he can do better? Because he's proven it here because he's level 1O. I know that he can do it, okay? The question is, will he do it? There's only so much I can do here at detention because the real test is at home. I can only prepare him for being at home.
Yes,
What
sir.
do you think? I just want your opinion because this is 2 within 3 months. Like I have very little tolerance for Chance right now. Do you, in talking to him, do you think he's at the point where he needs the opportunity to prove to you that he can? Or do you think he needs, because I'll be honest, at this point, if he's level 1O and he holds it for several days, he's proven to me that we can do pretty much all we can do at this point on this
Yes,
day.
sir.
So we're not talking about a long-term thing. We're only talking about a couple more days.
Yes, sir. Yes, I believe that I'm able to give Chance another chance at home, but this will be the last one.
Well, okay. So remember, I can't tell you what to do as a parent and you can't tell me what to do as a judge. Okay.
Right. Yes, sir.
So we're working together. Okay.
Yes,
So this it may be the last time. It may not be the last time. There's different alternatives that we have, but I don't want to stick you in a box as a parent and I don't want you to stick me in a box as a judge. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, but we're going to work together on this one. Okay.
Okay.
Really like the way you parent. I like the way you love your child. And let's be honest, Chance doesn't stand a chance against the both of us working together. Okay.
Okay.
Like we're a team that, yeah, we're going to win this one. Okay. So let's do this. Chance, you understand that all your mom has to do is call your probation officer and say that, you know, Chance is giving me a bad attitude, and give a couple of examples, and I'll just sign another warrant for you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Like, I need you to be a level 1-0 at home.
Yes, sir.
It's that simple. And the fact that you know what it takes, that's why I'm holding you to a higher standard.
Yes, sir.
In fact, I will let you know that I am probably holding you to a higher standard than I do most 14-year-olds.
Yes, sir.
Because you've proven to me that you know better than most 14-year-olds. Okay? So to whom those God have given, or much is given, much is expected. Right? I'm expecting more out of you. So don't let me down, but if you do, that's okay. We'll come back here, we'll have the conversation again, and then we'll wait longer and we'll try it again. But I'm not gonna give up on you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I've signed the release order, electronic monitor, can't leave the house, gotta follow your mom's rules. This is gonna be as hard as you want it to be, or it's gonna be as easy as you want it to be, but it's up to you.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
Thank you.
Thank
You,
you.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay. McComber,
Yes.
can we get Christopher Childs next, please?
Christopher?
May
Yes,
I be
please.
excused, Your Honor?
Yes, Mr. Daniels, have a good weekend.
All right, you too.
Your Honor, I just need to make sure I'm in the right room for Christopher Childs. I'm filling in for Ray Hall, or is that in Judge Porter's?
Ms. Bowers, no matter what room you're in the right room.
Well, thank you, Judge. You're so sweet.
No, this is Mr. Childs. He was
Okay.
earlier, but we set him aside until you showed up. I know you
All
had
right.
a conflict with another court.
I did, but thank you. I just wanted you to know I'm here. Okay, I'll unmute. I'll mute.
Okay. Oh, no, don't mute. This is Mr. Childs. This is yours.
Okay, great, wonderful.
All right, Mr. Childs, this is a detention hearing. The purpose of this hearing is to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days to make the same decision, and this is a 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. Finally, you have a right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. All right, Mr. Childs. Okay, you're 17 years old. Let's see. You are... What is going on? So we were supervising on DPP for Ellis County. And then Ellis County closed the DPP case for criminal trespass. Then you were referred to Tarrant County a week later for criminal trespass. You were detained, released to your adoptive parents, and then you were fined for a couple months. Then at the end of May, your mom said that you climbed out the window in the middle of the night, ran away for a couple days during Memorial Day weekend. Then you called about a week later saying, could you come home because you had nowhere to go. So they let you back home, but a week later you climbed out and were missing ever since. So a couple days later, Mansfield police came to your parents' house looking for you as a suspect for burglary of a habitation, for going into a house to use the shower. All right, so we issued a warrant for you, you're apprehended, and so we have a pending case for criminal trespass. We have a new criminal mischief case from Mansfield. Adoptive parents here?
Say.
Yeah. Mr. Jackson, are the parents here? Oh, there he is.
Yes, I think Mr. Childs is here. Yes, I'm here.
And when you came in, you were positive for weed. All right. So you're the adoptive parent, sir?
Yes, I am.
All right. Just tell me, father to father, what are we doing? I mean, where's Christopher at? He's 17 now. Just turned, I guess he turned 17 here in custody.
Right.
Where are we at?
What do you mean where we at?
I'm just talking to you, dad to dad, man to man. Like, where are we at with Christopher? I mean, it's a misdemeanor case, criminal trespass. At this point, if he gets arrested, he doesn't come here, he has to go to adult jail.
Correct.
Right? At that point, we're looking at potentially just another young black man that gets in the system, gets institutionalized, right?
Correct.
And that just becomes another statistic. What can I do at this point with Christopher to help prevent that? I mean, are we just past that? Is there anything we can do?
Only he can help himself, sir.
I'm inclined to believe that. Right?
I know that for a fact. He's been told over and over, time and time again. So until he gets it, he don't get help himself. That's the honest truth.
I mean, Dad, are we looking at a prodigal son situation where he's made a mistake and this is going forward and things are good? Or we're looking at, we've pretty much done everything we can, he's gonna make his own decisions?
I would like to see they'll do everything going forward.
Right.
I guess, you know, to get it out of your system and okay, now I'm all right, I'm gonna start over a new leaf and that type of thing, but it remains to be seen.
Christopher, your thoughts?
I've been in here for 2 weeks. I've reflected on a lot of things. I think I'm ready to move forward. I know I'm ready to move forward.
Here's my problem, Christopher, right? You're 17 now. You understand what happens next time if you're arrested?
I go to county, I don't come here.
Yeah, you go to county. And we go to county, what's probably gonna happen is if you're there and nobody bonds you out, right? Then what happens is you'll wait for the next jail run, which means they gather up all the people that have these misdemeanors who have been sitting in for a while, and your lawyer, appointed lawyer, will come back there to the holdover behind the courtroom and say, hey, look, if you sign this paper, you get out now. You don't have to do probation, you're just done. Get credit for time served. You want to get out because you don't want to wait another 3 or 4 months, or because of the coronavirus, wait another 6 months to have a trial. You don't want to go and get probation where you have a year or 2 years of paying $60 a month. You can't have a job because you have to report once a day. You have UAs because you have a history of drug use with marijuana. You've got classes, you got all this other stuff. And then any restitution, if it's like a criminal mischief. And you may or may not make it through probation. So you go back, you get placed in jail, waiting a month or so. You lose your job, lose your apartment if you have one. You end up pleading guilty just to get out, to get on with your life. Now you have a criminal record, which next time you're looking for a job, then it may be tougher to get a job because you know what, if you're hiring somebody, you have a guy that, hey, this guy looks good, this guy looks good, this guy's been convicted of a crime, this guy hasn't. Who do you think they're gonna hire?
The guy that's clean.
Right. And so, of course, it's harder for you to find a job, which means you're taking lower quality jobs, not making as much, which makes it harder to live in a better place, to afford better things, have a better car, or a car that works. God forbid you end up with a felony, because even as a small felony, because, you know, small felony, what happens is now you're trying to rent an apartment when you're a felon. Well, most apartments don't rent out to felons, right? So there's a couple apartment complexes that do, but you know what? Those apartment complexes, they're full of felons because they're the only ones that rent to felons. So now you're there trying to start a life, start a family. Maybe you got a girlfriend or kid. You live in this apartment complex because this felony you had when you were 18 years old, except now next door to you, you have murderers and child molesters and rapists and nothing but felons. And the whole apartment complex is nothing but felons because you did one thing when you're 18 years old. You see this life that I'm projecting in front of you that could be?
See where you're coming from.
That's what scares me, and that's what scares your dad and scares your probation officer. That's what we see on this side. When I was 17 years old, I didn't see this, man. Like, I have no idea this happened, right? On this side, I see it happening all the time. That's why I'm concerned, man. I don't care, I'll be honest, I don't really care about a criminal trespass where you go into a house to take a shower because you've been a runaway. That doesn't keep me up at night. What keeps me up at night is, for some reason, Christopher Childs thought it was okay to run away from home, go back, run away from home again, then think, rather than just going home to a dad who loves me, to think, I'm going to break into somebody's house. Because that's a better decision than just swallowing my pride and telling my dad, Dad, I'm sorry, I love you, but I'm back. Can I come back home? Because you could have made that choice. You had a good choice and a bad choice, and you picked the bad choice, right? See where I'm going with this? And that one bad choice, now remember, if you break it, even if nobody was there, the fact that it was a house, had running water, qualifies as a habitation under the law. So you're looking at a second-degree felony. So instead of a criminal trespass, the police could be charging you with 2 to 20 years in prison as an adult. Remember when I talked about you could be facing a felony, that you can only live in an apartment complex with other felons? This is the kind of thing that could make you a felon. Even though all you wanted was a shower, by the law in Texas, this could have made you a felon. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from bad decisions. All right. So at this point, I don't think you're a danger to yourself. I don't think you're a danger to the community. I'm not sure what I can do for you other than the talk I just gave you to hopefully make you realize your decisions have a lot bigger consequences than you think they do. All right. My best piece of advice for you, Mr. Childs, a lot of people in this world have given up on you along the way. Okay? I know you've had a tough life, but there's one person who will stand by you thick and thin and will always be there for you no matter what. No matter what good decisions you make, no matter what bad decisions you make, he'll be there. He's right there behind those letters that say Parents Courtroom. Okay? Don't forget that. Okay, I won't always be here for you. Mr. Jackson won't always be here. No, your dad's always going to be there for you. Okay? Don't be afraid to ask for help. It doesn't mean you're less of a man because you ask for help. Sometimes it actually means you're a better man because you know it was time to ask for help. All right? All right, so I've already signed your release order. I probably won't see you again because if you get arrested, you'll go downtown to the county, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
May I be excused?
Yes, Ms. Bowers, have a good weekend.
You too, Judge. See you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Wagu. You think that talk makes a difference? Sometimes I think that the rogue message go a little deeper. I hope. It would have when I was 17. Yeah.
It could have just been now.
We tried. All right. So, Mr. Wagu, this is a detention hearing. Anytime a child is brought to our detention facility, the law says you have to see a judge within 2 business days, and I have to make a decision whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days thereafter. I will let you know you have the right to an attorney. If you or your family cannot afford an attorney, I will provide one for you. I'll let you know you have a right to remain silent, but if you give up that right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. All right, Ms. Wagu, you are 16 years old. You have been here before last year when you were a runaway and assault family violence, which you got DPP for, deferred prosecution. You came in this time, we give you a drug test, you're negative. See, on yesterday, police brought you in because we issued a warrant for you. Back on April 19th, we got a text from the father saying that you ran away. On April 20th, got a call from dad saying that he found out you purchased a ticket on a Greyhound bus with his debit card. He filed a police report about the stolen card. And then there was a petition filed, you were transported here. You're negative marijuana. See, we put you in family partnership program back in January, but you've had problems, you struggled. You admitted to smoking weed, you have a history of running away, hang out with negative peers. Oh, I remember this one. The boys, dad came home, the boys were there, and the boys shot at dad, and it's from his own house.
Yeah.
That's why I put it there.
Yeah. Yeah, you were a runaway. Dad finally came home. You were home, 6 boys at home. Dad called the police, and then leaving the house, they shot at dad. And then you had said that you didn't want to live with your dad. You made allegations of abuse against your dad. All right, so what happened with the CPS investigation, Mr. Wagu?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right.
Nothing. They know she's lying. She's just trying to get away from trouble.
I understand, but you're saying I have to ask, right?
Okay.
Okay, so, all right. So I got a question. Where was the Greyhound bus ticket for? Where was she going?
I don't know. It seems as if she was going to Minnesota. Your Honor, please, I am asking anything you have in your toolbox to correct this. Please do it. She hasn't changed a bit since the last time she was there. Instead, she got worse. In fact, anytime I tell her about running away, she will tell me, well, they told me in the juvenile system that running away is not a crime. So anything you can do, Your Honor, please.
Okay. So has she ever seen a mental health doctor before?
Your Honor, I paid. I'm a working stiff. I don't have money, but I still paid for her to see a counselor. It didn't work. She's been seeing a government appointed counselor. It didn't work. She just wants to be on the street. Anything you can do, please, Your Honor. I am begging. She's a flight risk any day, anytime.
Okay, so you feel like if I released her to you, she would run away again?
Oh, yeah. We've been looking for her for 2 months now.
Okay.
She's been out there for 2 months.
All right.
And I don't even know. That's another reason. I still don't know whether she was living with a man in the house at 16 or not. That remains to be. I want to find out what exactly or who she was living with.
Right. Can I ask where mom is in the picture?
The mom is in Minnesota. She was having a problem with Minnesota. That was why the CPS over there in Minnesota asked me to take her and bring her here. She was actually, I brought her here at the instruction of CPS over there. And please, if you can put her in actual probation and take her off of the family decision that she's in, she needs to be in probation. And whenever she's discharged, I want her on ankle monitor.
Right. Well, those are our decisions, not yours. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, not a problem. Okay, so this one I'm gonna do is, Luce, I'm gonna go ahead and detain you. I believe your dad. I believe that if I let you go, you're just gonna run away again. I believe that you want to run the show. I believe that you honestly believe you know better than anybody else around you. So
I feel like I know I would run away again because I don't feel safe in the house. I'm not the type of kid that will lie about somebody putting their hands on him. That's like a serious allegation. I wouldn't lie about something like that. I know if you were to release me to my dad, I could tell you myself that I probably would run away because I don't feel safe.
okay. So I mean that's one more indication that one of the factors I have to consider is whether you would return to court or not if I was to let you go, and it seems like you would not return to court. So I'm going to go ahead and detain you. I'm also ordering a psychiatric evaluation. All right. Seems like you've never had one before, so we'll go ahead and do that. Those doctors come, I believe Wednesdays is when the doctor shows up for that. So you'll see the doctor next Wednesday. I need you to participate. If you don't participate with the doctor, we can't get a good diagnosis, which would then mean that we'd have to wait until you participate before we would even let you go. Okay? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, next we have Rodney. Oh, no, he's 11. Oh, we have under 14s. All right, so at this point, in compliance with Texas Family Code, Chapter 54.08C, which states when a child is under 14 years old at the time of the hearing, the court shall close the hearing to the public unless the court finds that the interest of the child or the interest of the public would be better served by opening the hearing to the public. The court cannot make a finding that the interest of the public would be better served by opening it. So at this point, I am closing these proceedings in compliance with Texas Family Code Chapter 54.08C. So I'm going to first end the live stream to YouTube, and then I'm going to go through and figure out who all's here participating. So who is Miss Tanya Davis? Do we know?
Yes, I am.
She's a parent, Judge.
She's a parent, okay. She's a parent to whom?
Kira Watts.
Okay, to Wyatt, all right. And then Burrell, that's Stacy, right?
Thanks.
SL, okay, probation, PO. Who is CF? Okay. Can somebody admit CF? Okay, Mr. Wagu, this is now, it's a closed hearing, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove you from these court proceedings, okay? Hope you have a good weekend. Okay, CF is gone. All right, so I guess the person in the probation officer for the parents' courtroom, the grandfather for Mr. Moore is here, I'm assuming?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, he's here.
All right, so we'll go ahead and do Wyatt first, and we can leave the grandfather out. This way, Miss Davis doesn't have to leave and come back. And so go ahead and have the grandfather wait in the lobby. We can handle Wyatt before anything else. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna end